Hey guys, so go ahead and take a minute to get your notes all set up, whether you take them on a Google Doc or on a notebook. Make sure you have a title, so like Judicial Branch Notes would work just fine. And then make sure you think about how you want to do your headings, whether that's ABC 1, 2, 3 Roman numerals or an arrow. And remember, you're just writing down the bolded and underlined information. Role of the court. So when we talk about the courts, we're talking about when we're talking about the judicial branch, we're talking about the courts, and they have two main jobs. Number one, to interpret the laws. Number two, ensure the laws are enforced fairly. And they listen to two different types of court cases. Criminal cases, you're probably a little bit more familiar with those, and civil cases. Criminal cases occur when an action was committed that is considered harmful to society, like murder and stuff like that. Civil cases, on the other hand, you're probably less familiar with those. That occurs between parties who feel like their rights have been harmed. So that could be their constitutional rights, like the freedom of speech and stuff like that, or it could even be like a violation of a legally binding agreement, like a contract. If you need more time to write this down or type this up, put the video on pause, push play when you're ready. All right, so we're going to look a little bit closer on the types of cases that the federal courts would hear. So not the state courts, but the federal courts. Federal courts hear cases that involve, first, the Constitution, so a person who believes that their constitutional rights, like the freedom of speech, have been violated, and any federal laws. These would be laws set by our national government. So not state laws, not local laws, national federal laws. Number two, disputes between states. So this could be talking about like one state government suing a different state government, or a dispute between two state governments, or it could even be a dispute between people or businesses from different states. Number three, maritime laws. So maritime, that word deals with like oceans and stuff like that. So for example, like a maritime law could be when two parties disagree over which of them has the right to property recovered from a shipwreck. These are a little bit more rare. Federal government, anything dealing with the federal government, whether the federal government's taking action against a group of people, a person, or a business, or a business group of people or a person is taking action against the federal government. So, for example, the government might sue a company for failing to deliver goods as promised in a contract. Vice versa, that company could sue the federal government if the federal government isn't giving them fair payment as defined in that contract. Last one, cases with foreign governments. So this could be disputes between a foreign government, like any government that's not the United States, and the United States government, or it could be cases where an American citizen or company is in a dispute with a foreign government. Those would be examples of cases with foreign governments that would fall under federal jurisdiction. All right, and that's it for the notes. What you guys are going to do on your Google Classroom, there is a Jamboard assigned to you. Go ahead and click on it to open it up, and it'll look something like this. You're going to use your notes to determine if the cases listed in these sticky notes below are federal cases or not federal cases. Then you'll just click and drag them to the appropriate category. So you can go ahead and read these, kind of compare it to your notes, click and drag it if it's a federal case, or click and drag it over here if it's not a federal case. You should have 4 total federal case sticky notes and only 2 not a federal case sticky notes. If you have any questions about those, you can always email me, call or text this Google Voice phone number, or come in during open office hours on the Google Meets. And this isn't going to be due until January 6th. So you guys have plenty of time, and it's just going to be a teeny tiny little assignment. So if you have other stuff that you need to work on, feel free to do so, especially because the foreign policy tools and goals assignment is due the 22nd. The judicial branch visual vocabulary is due the 23rd. You'll have some time to work on this one just because I know you guys probably have a lot of assignments in other classes as well. All right, and just a quick reminder that conferences are tonight from 5 to 8 p.m. It's not too late to sign up, so if you would like to sign up, feel free to reach out to me or check your email.